Congress is back to work today with a lot on their plate after a month-long break, and they're already facing a looming deadline. Government funding runs out at the end of this month, and avoiding a government shutdown will require Democrats and Republicans to work together, something that is not looking particularly promising. With Congress's return also comes the return of the Jeffrey Epstein saga. Epstein survivors are on Capitol Hill today meeting privately with a bipartisan group of lawmakers from the House Oversight Committee, as well as House Speaker Mike Johnson. We're also expecting to hear publicly tomorrow from survivors alongside Republican Congressman Thomas Massie and Democrat Ro Khanna. Today, Massie filed what's known as a discharge petition, a procedural move to force a vote on his resolution to compel the Justice Department to unseal all of its files on Epstein. And we're also expecting that Congress will confront the growing turmoil at the CDC, with HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. set to appear at a hearing on Thursday. NBC News senior national political reporter Sahil Kapur joins me now during a very busy week. Sahil, what needs to happen between now and September 30th to avoid a shutdown?
Well, the short version, Gabe, is that the two parties need to agree to a government funding bill. It is subject to 60 votes in the Senate, which means Republicans are going to need Chuck Schumer's support effectively. And Schumer is adamant that this is not going well at this time. He accuses the Trump administration and Republicans of once again threatening to go it alone, forcing the country toward a shutdown. He says the president is waging an all-out war against Congress's Article I authority and the constitutional balance of power with so-called rescissions and pocket rescissions, essentially canceling money that Congress approved on a bipartisan basis. So this is not the rhetoric of a path toward a bipartisan solution right now. The two parties are going to have to figure out either whether to do a full appropriations process or partial. Neither of those seem likely at this point. It looks like we're headed toward a continuing resolution or a stopgap bill. It's just a question of whether the two sides can agree on something, because right now it isn't looking good.
Yeah. So, Sahil, though, do the Democrats really have any leverage here?
They do if they choose to use it. It takes 60 votes in the Senate to pass any bill. Last time, a few months ago, back in March when the deadline came up, Democrats did not use their leverage, famously voted for a Republican-only bill to keep the government going at the time. Schumer backed down at that moment and argued that it was not in the Democrats' interest to pursue a potential shutdown. His posture is very, very different now. He had a famous division with House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries at the time. He wrote in a new letter to colleagues that he has spoken with Jeffries and, quote, "We are aligned on our shared priorities for September," unquote, essentially saying that the Democrats won't be divided this time as they were then.
Yeah, Schumer definitely took a lot of heat for that earlier this year. On the Epstein issue, Republican Congressman Thomas Massie, as we mentioned, is trying to force a vote on his Epstein resolution. What happens next in that process?
Well, Congressman Massie, the Kentucky Republican, has filed that so-called discharge petition, which is an attempt to get around House Republican leadership and force a vote to the floor, even if Speaker Mike Johnson doesn't want that to happen. In order to achieve that, he's going to need 218 signatures. So presuming every Democrat is going to sign, which is likely what we expect, he needs an additional 5 Republicans to sign this discharge petition. And his Democratic partner in this effort, Ro Khanna, thinks that will happen. Take a listen to what he said.
We have all 212 Democrats committed to signing it. He has 12 Republicans. Only 6 of them have to sign it. What will be explosive is the September 3rd press conference that both of us are having with 10 Epstein victims, many who have never spoken out before. They're going to be on the steps of the Capitol. They will be telling their story, and they will be saying clearly to the American public that they want the release of the Epstein files for full closure on this matter.
And Speaker Mike Johnson is trying to prevent this bill from coming up. He says it's unnecessary because the Oversight Committee, which is run by the Republican James Comer, is already investigating the Epstein matter.
And Sahil, quickly before we go, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will testify before the Senate on Thursday. What types of questions can we expect him to face, particularly from Republicans?
This hearing was pre-scheduled before the firing and the exodus at the CDC, but we expect that to be a major topic right now because it's really caught on. RFK Jr. defended his move to fire the CDC director, arguing in a Wall Street Journal op-ed that this is about restoring public trust in the CDC, which he says has eroded. He says, quote, "Tools meant to fight disease, vaccines, antibiotics, therapeutics can save lives, but also trigger adverse events in some patients. That truth must no longer be ignored." He he says, end quote, so we expect Democrats, as well as some senators like Bill Cassidy, who is on the Finance Committee, also chairs the Help Committee, which oversees the CDC. Cassidy is a doctor and a staunch defender of vaccines. We might see some tense moments there at the RFK hearing later this week.
Sahil Kapur live for us on Capitol Hill. Sahil, thank you.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.